Good morning, everyone. My lovely wife with the kids in the boat. All right, y'all, we back again. We are officially shut down right now from running crawfish. So we're gonna use this opportunity and come out here, and we're gonna go ahead and, we do have a few traps that are ran over. So we're gonna go try to find them, use this opportunity to do so. Now, I don't care how long anyone has ever told you that they've been crawfishing. If they've never ran over any traps, they're a liar. It happens. I do so every now and then, and it's really weird with the articulating boat that we have, but it does present itself sometimes. The traps do fall over, and especially with this style boat we're running an Olinger style boat. It pivots from the rear right after the boat, so it's articulating just like the big tractors, and we do run over. So I'm going to go ahead and use my brother with his bike, because it's built to mud rod. Mine is not going in the mud and water unless it has to. It is a farm bike, but I'm not doing it if I don't have to. So let me show y'all the bikes. So this is his bike, 2017 Foreman Rubicon foot shift. He does have 28-inch Outlaw 2s on it, and he does mud ride with this bike. That's his hobby. Now, then we come to my 2014 Foreman 500. I stayed with 25-inch tall tires from the factory, and I just put some Vampires on it. As many of y'all know, we've talked about before, we do deal with a lot of mud and water, so our foilers sometimes have to get muddy and do harder work. But we're going to go ahead and ride down some of these rows and try to find some of these ran over traps and pull them up, and then hopefully we can start running again soon to where we can go ahead and I'll fix some more traps and to put them out where we do have a few missing traps. So hang tight, and we'll talk to you here in a few. Picking up when the water does come back up a little bit, you better find them. So you got one right there in the middle. It's been kind of dry, so if the water was at its normal point, full, you would never see that. So you just take the trap, he's gonna pick it up, and he's gonna set it back right, like the rest of the row should be. Down one, back right. That way, once we do, we'll probably crank the pump up sooner or later, put a little bit more water, but while we're down right now, I don't see no reason why we need to. It's not important. I'll tell you what though, that little bike right there, it's kind of like the crawfish boat. It goes just as good as the crawfish boat. It goes as good as the crawfish boat, huh?
Oh yeah, this is perfect.
Perfect. Got it. So we're just going. So far, we ain't found none that are missing yet. Just the ones that we found so far were down. So we're gonna pick them up, just like all of these. This one, this one, this one, that one, that one, this one, that one. Just like all of them, we'll have them all up. When we do get some water, you'll see them. And then we'll talk to you here in a few when we do get some ones that we have to walk through the water to find that the boat pretty much demolished, smashed. Kind of like a can stepping on it. Kind of that kind of thing, and trying to find it in the mud and water like this. Now, I am officially in shorts, barefooted through the pond. I didn't have any old shoes to wear, so my feet are just gonna have to do. And this pond doesn't have any rice crop in it. It was just grass from last year. There is a good bit of food and nutrition for the crawfish and the breakdown process of it, and it's good enough for the crawfish. But in all actuality, us down here in the south, we prefer, especially if we're doing a crawfish to rice rotation, the rice is a better food source for the crawfish than grass. And all these green trees are actually willows. I've never seen this many willow trees in a field, but at the end of this year, once we water level the boat runs in, they'll kind of go, we'll bury them down. Now they'll try to come back up, but whatever does come back up, the plow is gonna handle the rest. That plow will disintegrate them things. But, well, we'll talk to you here in a few when we find a trap that's down that we gotta walk through the water to find it. So, just walking through. Just walked through a spot and never found it. right, we're still walking right now. We stopped several times, but where I think there was some missing, but apparently we must have got the traps already where those spots were. So it's pretty good in here. Water temperature still cool for the most part. Now once we get to let's say end of May and June, these waters will be hot, and that's hard because not much oxygen left in it. So still walking. Tell you what though, this is not as much of a workout as it is when you wear the hip boots pushing the push boat. I don't know what it is about, I guess the pushing through the water, pushing the boat, but we decided to do the four-wheeler instead of the, stand this one up. I wonder if the same rules apply. See if he picks me up or not. Got my fingers crossed. All right, so he's gonna pick up a total stranger and carry on. At least for the most part, we're getting them straight. Getting them straight and getting it good again. But we'll talk to you here in a few. All right, so we didn't find anything. Well, I say that. We found one bad trap, but I guess we had picked the others up. So now we're at my other pond. This is some stuff that I had kind of dry bladed and get some trees out of it. We'll be crawfishing all of this. It goes back up to the top. It's a bigger cut over there. But figure let my brother play in it a little bit. There are crawfish in it, but wasn't able to put no traps out. It's not deep enough. But, well, so awkward seeing it where we're not gonna fish it right now. But just riding outside levees. Let's see what everything looks like. I hadn't been here in a few days, but definitely need some more water in it. So that's the pump that floods all this. Take the PTO. It's PTO thick 540, so hook it up. That's all my greasers. They go to all my bearings down it. This one has Babbitt bearings, but as you can see, we don't have enough water to pump in here. Now this is a relift pump. What it does is just suck water at the bottom, sends it up this tube down here, it connects it. That goes into the pipeline. It goes all the way to the top cut over there, and it comes up out the ground and water flows. And that's how we'll get water. Now it's pretty low right now, but we checked a couple of traps and they're in there. But what you gonna do when you shut down right now? All right, you can see that pipe drop there. That's about 4 or 5 inches right there at least. That's how much more water we need in it. I have it set to where when it rains or we pump, when the water gets to that, it drains into there and dumps in the canal. Now, with that being said, that's how short we are. Now, with a good rainwater fill each cut up, and it'll spill over over each other riser. And then when it gets to here, when it fills up this cut, it'll spill over in there, and then it's full. But it does. Oof, we need a rain. It's dry. Well, we done riding. We checked everything. So both ponds that we checked, the one before where we were picking up the traps and riding, they both need water. The other one actually is a water well. It's a deep water well. It goes down and it'll flood everything from, it pulls out the water table deep in the earth. But this one over here, we gotta rely off the water system in the canal, and we have to have a rain for it to better flood this. Now these over here at this pond, these are our biggest ones. We do have big ones in here, but it's not enough to call them out, you know, have the big ones in a sack and then the smaller ones in the other sack. It's just not enough traps in here. We only have 180 traps in these 4 cuts. There's 4 cuts here. So out of 180 traps, the most we've caught was 2.5 sacks, which is not bad. If they were all field run, they would be doing good. This stuff was kind of overgrown. I kind of picked this property up late, which is why in the back, we're not crawfishing it. I was able to get the big tractor with the blade in here and blade that stuff down. Now what I need to do is rent an excavator and finish a few more things off back there, and we'll be able to, after the crawfish season, drain all this, plow it, and plant it. And then this stuff will be good next year. This is 38 acres we're gonna run here next year. That's all of it. And then the other property, that stuff, like with all the willows and all the grass in it, I picked that up very late. That was my latest one I picked up. So there hasn't been a rice crop on it in several years, but we'll have hopefully a rice crop on that section next year, and then I'll be crawfishing the other side of that this coming year. And hopefully we'll be able to put a rice crop in it. Now, if things are bad, when I say they shut us down, all of our crawfish are pretty much peelers, which is, don't get me wrong, there is a market for peelers. You know, when you walk in the stores and you get the 1 pound packs of crawfish tails, that's where they come from. The little guys like me, and the big guys too. They produce them. But with this virus going on, they limit how many people can be in the plants. These, you know, it's just a building with a bunch of workers, and now with being 6 foot apart distancing, and then the crawfish market's so far down right now, you know, with businesses shut down, people can't go inside of a restaurant to eat these crawfish, so they're having to do drive-through onlys, and it's affecting the crawfish industry bad right now. So I mean, it's bad. I've heard it's been this bad down here in the South, but I've really never seen it like this. You know, usually at the end of the year, they start getting picky with your size. You know, they don't want to see no small ones. They usually put what we call a cull tray in these boats. You can put them in the push boats, or you can put them in the drive boats. And what it does is it allows the big ones up to a certain size. You know, it could be a good medium to large that it'll let go into the sack and sack it, and then the small ones fall through and they go back into the pond. So, but if we had to do that, it doesn't justify us. We won't come out with enough. So that's why we were able to produce for the peeling plants. Now, some of the stuff like this bottom cut right here, everything in it is monsters. But when you're only catching, let's say, a quarter of a sack in this cut, or, you know, that's not enough to justify taking that and putting it in its own. I mean, nobody wants to go to a crawfish dock and, hey guys, I got a quarter of a sack for you. Let's say 8 pounds. They don't want that. I mean, a whole sack is better. But I do feel for everybody with the economy shutting down. We're trying for the most part to do our social distancing and do our part. You know, I still have to go to town. I was going to get bait, but, you know, I was following things, watching what I touched, making sure I had Germ-X and washing my hands and watching what I do, because I can't bring that back to my family, and I don't want you guys doing that to your families. So please listen to what they're saying, and hopefully this all goes away soon, where we can go and get back into business. That's what I'm really hoping for, that it may be a last 30-day sprint. I don't know. We may be able to go back and start running again, but that's not up to me. That's not my decision. Around the other farm, where you've seen me with the big tractor plowing, you know, they're having a hard time too. They're not running all their traps. They're only running the stuff that produces the bigger size, which is a good field run to a good select. We have three different categories. We have select, which is your big monsters, look like lobsters, which is this cut has some. And then you have a field run, which is just a little smaller than that. They're pretty big in size, but you're not going to really see too much of them big pinchers on them and the big red shells on them. And then you have the smaller ones, which is the peelers. And we just produce more peelers. Now out the pond where we were picking up traps with the four-wheeler, those are all peelers. They have a few big ones in it, but it's not much. It's overpopulated, and it's hard to say what exactly is wrong with it. But anyway, well, we're done. We're gonna get on the four-wheelers and head back home, and we'll go from there. And I hope all of you enjoyed and liked the video. I got a bunch of clips I'm gonna put in here. Some of it was some stuff that we were running, let's say, a week or so ago. So I'm gonna throw that all in a video, show y'all a little bit more with the boat. Yes, my wife was crawfishing. She does get in a boat and crawfish too. Now, she don't push boat, but she'll drive the boat. And she does good. I don't have to worry about anything. She knows what to do. She takes her time, does it. So, well, if you liked the video, hit that like button and subscribe for some more. And we'll see y'all guys on the next video. Y'all have a good one.